Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you doing today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? Everything here, pretty darn good. This weekend was, of course, Origins Game Fair in Columbus, Ohio, and I went as a pedestrian. I went as we didn't have a booth. There was some promotion going on in like the event hall and stuff of Imperial Settlers Roll and Write, but Portal Games didn't have a booth, so I was there as a pedestrian. And it's been a very long time since I've been to a convention just to go to a convention, like without anything to do, having a booth being tied to it and all that sort of thing. So I got to do a good bit. I got there, left here Friday morning. Got there at like 11-ish, bought a 2-day badge for Friday and Saturday. Friday, I kind of wish I didn't buy the badge for Friday. I didn't need it. I went into the hall for like a half an hour. Hit a couple booths just with some friends and then reached out to some other friends, and they just said, we're going to go get food. So let's go get food. So I ended up walking to the North Market, which is this wonderful like open air style market with little stalls with little lunch counters and stuff. So we went there and ate, and then went back to the dealer hall area, but we didn't go back in. We stayed out front and just played games all night, like literally all night until like 10 o'clock. So I wish I hadn't bought the badge for Friday, but whatever. So I picked up some games. I picked up one game that day. That is the Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle Defense Against the Dark Arts. This is kind of inspired by the Harry Potter card game that came out 2 years ago, or last year, 2 years ago, and but I've never picked that game up, even though I love Harry Potter stuff, because I've heard it gets stale and it's long. This is a 2-player quick battle game. And my girlfriend and I both love Harry Potter, so when I heard about this, I knew I had to have it. And the guy I was playing games with, my friend Ken, he's a reviewer, he had a copy, and I was like, oh, I need this. And he's like, well, they only have like 20 left. And so while we were playing games, he was going into the hall to get stuff for an event he was running that night, and I was like, will you go get it for me? So I gave him cash, and he went and picked this up. I picked up some other stuff. Coincidentally, this is the only one of the games that I'm going to tell you about here that I haven't played yet. I did open it and read the rules, and it is essentially Harry Potter Star Realms, which is perfect. Like, both my girlfriend and I both love Star Realms. We both love Harry Potter. This is a perfect little 2-player game to add to our collection. Can't wait to play it. I have no doubts that it's going to be satisfying, just based off of what I know about deck building games. Yeah. I'll tell you about that last. We also, while we were out there, we played Copenhagen. This is a neat little tile-laying, tessellation style, tile-laying, Tetris, whatever you want to call it, game that uses a Ticket to Ride type card drafting mechanic. And so the tiles in here are multicolored, and you have to have the color cards in your hand to buy those tiles and then put them on your board. The whole concept is you're trying to make these buildings, these facades, and you're trying to put windows in and fill in rows and columns of this building, and you score points for doing that. It's a very quick game. You shuffle this little mermaid thing into the deck. If you're playing with 2-player, you shuffle it in right at the beginning. If not, I think you go through the deck twice. So you're not going to complete your facade. Maybe, I mean, I guess you could if you're super awesome. Chances are you're not going to. But it plays very quick, and it was very concise, and we've been playing a lot of Ticket to Ride lately. With me and my girlfriend have been playing a lot. Me and my daughter play a lot. And then when my friend Jeff comes over, we play a lot. So I thought, well, this is a good fit. So I went and talked to my friends at Queen Games and picked this up. Thank you, Travis. And I also got some expansions in here, which we did not play with the expansions the first time I played it, or the second time I played. I played it with my daughter yesterday during Father's Day. Haven't played it yet. So cursory glance at this, I like it. I think it's a neat little game. It's nothing magnificent, but it was worth it to me to go get it because of it very much fits the style of game I've been playing lately. So that's good. While I was there, so typically when I travel around the hall, I look for a few different things. First, I look for t-shirts. Yes, I got this t-shirt. It's a new t-shirt. And then I look for the little guy. I look for the game I've never heard of, nobody's ever heard of, just some person who published a game and got a booth. And I saw this booth a couple of times as I was walking, and I was like, that looks interesting to me. I want to stop and see it. And then while we were out playing games, Ken also had this game. And I was like, I want to play it. And he goes, I don't know how to play it. So while we were playing, we played Museum. Amazing. I would love to have that game. Didn't want to spend money on it. Don't know the publisher. Can't go. I can't go bum it. We'll see if I can fix that at Gen Con. It's on my list. While we were playing that, I read the rules to this and immediately was like, okay, I'm going to go pay for it. It's I actually bought this game. It's called Town Builder Cavorden, and it's a very simple little drafting town building game where you're drafting buildings out of a common row, adding them as foundations or as resources to build those foundations, and then once they're built, they give you some adding scoring bonuses or little abilities that you can fire off and stuff like that. And then there's some judges and some awards. Those are at random. The judges reward you for having buildings of a certain type. Awards reward you for having like a certain amount of buildings or a certain number of different types of building. Plays super quick. I've played it so far solitaire and did pretty bad, but really enjoyed the solitaire play. I can't wait to play it through with other players, but I think it was $20 and totally worth it. I really do like this a lot, and I'll probably do a video about it at some point. In fact, I've been thinking a lot about this. I think I can do reviews now and it not be weird. Because I've kind of held off on doing reviews in the past because I have a lot of games that I just simply wouldn't have anything nice to say. And being that I work with Portal, it would be strange of me to tell you honestly about products of competitors and then say, I don't like this. I think that's weird. But let me know, Hogwarts, Defense Against the Dark Arts, Copenhagen, Cavorden, if you want reviews on these, like actual legit show you the components, show you how to play the game reviews, I think I would like to do that. I think I would like to maybe make that an every now and then video on the channel. So if you want to see any of these three products in detail, leave it in the comments and I will do a video. It's just that simple. And then the last thing I picked up is the heaviest thing I picked up. My friend AJ Porfirio, Van Ryder Games. We kind of came into the gaming industry at around the same time as designers. I had already been in the industry a long time as a volunteer, but as designers, we kind of came in kind of with the Game Crafter. We were a little crew of people, and he's done really well for himself. And one of my favorite things that he's done is the graphic novel adventures. Now, obviously, he hasn't done these personally. These are a group of French designers that make these books, and AJ's brought them over and translated them to English and is publishing them here in the United States, and they are awesome. This is essentially a choose-your-own-adventure book, but it's a graphic novel. So it's a graphic novel that is a choose-your-own-adventure book, and it's also kind of a picture hunt. Like when you turn to one of these panels, you kind of have to look through it and see if there's any items in there that you might want to pick up or spot certain clues. There might be some numbers hidden here and there which could lead you to different panels, which could unlock different things as opposed to just following step 1, step 2, step 3. You might get to jump around. On top of that, this one in particular, this is the Pirates, which I was really excited about. You get to pick your character from the beginning. There's 3 different characters you can choose from, and they all have different stats. And so oftentimes you'll be going through the adventure and you'll find a panel that'll say, if you have agility 15, then you can do this. And if you don't, well, then you die or you fail or you have to go somewhere else. And so there's a little bit of a role-playing element to it. You have to have found certain things, and if you find them, then you can continue. Obviously it's an honesty-based system, and it ultimately is supposed to be an enjoyable experience. But I have 2 of the books from the first series. I might pick up the rest at some point. And AJ hooked me up with the entire box set this time. So I'm, thank you, AJ, for everything that you've done for me, encouraging me. And we also talked a good bit about design stuff. So AJ, years and years ago, remember the game I was telling you that I'm thinking about working on again? AJ loved that game. Like, as a publisher, he was like, I want this. And then I gave it to Mayfair. So we talked a little bit about it, and he was like, I'm glad to hear you're back. He didn't say I want to see it. I don't think he wants to see it. But it was good to talk to him about it because he saw it in its heyday as it was, and he loved it then. So I think when I bring it back to life, I'm going to let him help me play test it. We'll see if he's up for that. So I don't know. There's 5 graphic novels in this set, 2 pirates, 2 Sherlock Holmes, and 1 is a superhero story. In the first set, there was like a Western and some Sherlock Holmes and like a Japanese story, and I don't remember what else. But these are amazing. Really, really fun. I sat down yesterday with the girls, played Copenhagen with my oldest, and then my youngest and I sat and went through probably 80% of the first Pirates book, and she was like, "This is so much fun, Dad." And so that was, makes everything worth it when you get to do that. So that's what I picked up. A couple of t-shirts, some games. Again, if you want to hear anything more about any of these games, or you can go look at my Twitter. I posted some posts about other games that I played. I played Lantern's Dice. I played Museum. I played a Russian roulette card game. I played... there's other games. If you look at my Twitter and you see any of the games that I posted there and you want to ask me more questions, please do so in the comments and I will answer them. That's all I have for you today, so thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I appreciate you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from English.stackexchange.com. How do you pronounce forte? If you want to be perfectly and unimpeachably correct, you will pronounce the word fort, meaning something that is one's strong point, identically to the word fort, and reserve the forte pronunciation only for the musical term.